What's up, bro?
How are you, brother? I'm doing fine.
Groovy?
I'm doing groovy.
Groovy, groovy.
Hello, everybody. It is the 13th. It's Saturday the 13th. We want to welcome you all here. Good evening. Welcome to Mel and Charlie Live. I'm Uncle Charlie Iona, and that's my brother Mel Raposo right there. So glad to have you on tonight. We were planning on having Dr. Capono Chong Hansen to discuss a little bit more about House Bill 1286, but fully understandable. He had a prior commitment, and it's okay. Spend time because why? Love is in the air. Tomorrow, Valentine's Day. Love is in the air.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the 14th. Yes, it's Valentine's Day.
Oh boy.
Everywhere
Oh
I look
boy.
around, love is in the air.
Well, I guess Patch is gonna get one of my Pokemon cards for Valentine's.
Well, we just like to say aloha to you all. And I also would like to say mahalo to all your well wishes. It's a little early, but nevertheless, I am appreciative. I am thankful. I am glad that I'm 1 year older here. But
Monday. Monday
on
is your birthday, huh?
Monday, but I'm 1 hair less this year than I was last year. So there's a trade-off. There's a trade-off.
Yeah. Right
So
on, man.
aloha to you all. Thank you so much.
How was your day, bro? How was your day?
Well, I first would like to give a big shout out to a couple of our viewers, Mary Ann Manintin and her husband Gabby. We ran across each other. I took the wife to go have a little sushi today, late this afternoon. A little sushi and some karaage chicken up in LA. And lo and behold, they were there. And when it was time to pay the bill, it was already taken care of by those sneaky buggers. But I am grateful from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, Mary Ann and Gabby. I appreciate it. Thank you. It was a beautiful day.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Well, today I went to
Saw it.
Tono Coffee and Bakery this
Saw
morning,
it. Yep.
and boy, that place is just as good as we heard last night. It was phenomenal, clean. The staff was so friendly, and I went in early, so I didn't catch the early crowd. I did, but it was really nice. It was some of our senior golfers. They pick up their coffee. It's a great place. The food was. I had their flying saucers. I bought cinnamon rolls, flying saucers, strawberry cheesecake, scones. Of course, their Americano, their coffee is off the chart. It's off the chart. What's up, Ken? My old friend Ken from the mainland is on. Yeah, I haven't seen those guys forever. Um, it was amazing, man. It was so good. The bad thing is Patsy got a reaction from her vaccine. She had her second shot yesterday. So last night she was exhausted. She was tired. But this morning, man, she got the chills and the body ache, and so I went down the road to uh, Super Number One, which is right down the road from our place. I bought her some soup, some wonton min soup,
Mm.
and because that is a local establishment, man, I support it local. I didn't take a picture, unfortunately, but I went to go get her soup, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to buy myself some oxtail soup as well. She's feeling better. She's still exhausted. She's going in and out of her sleep because she's very very tired. But she turned the corner, starting to feel better. Starting to
Well,
feel better.
this is what I'll tell you. Tomorrow, I will do a live for us at Taco Libre. I will try them out in the morning, 10 o'clock. I'll be there. You take care of your lovely wife, especially on Valentine's Day. And it's not often that I can convince Stephanie to come with me and have tacos al pastor for breakfast, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And they have
Oh, hang on, Charlie. I'm just gonna. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, they have chicken mole, but since it's tomorrow Sunday, we're gonna have holy moly. What a dry joke. But anyway, we're gonna try some of that chicken mole tomorrow. But anyway, I hope you folks all had a great day today, a beautiful Saturday. And I tell you, it just taking a couple of days just to get things in gear. Looking forward to next week. It's a 3-day weekend, so I hope everybody is taking the time to be kind to one another, taking your loved one out tomorrow for Valentine's Day. I hope you made reservations already. Um, I understand that the only place that doesn't need reservations, if you're taking your loved one out for dinner tomorrow, is the Lehui McDonald's drive-thru. No reservations needed. Okay.
I sorry I had to run off, but I just saw my dad had pop up. My dad just came on, so I went out and got my mail today, and I had a little box from my dad. And I was like, "What in the world is my dad sending me?" You know? And he said that he felt uncomfortable because Charlie, you always had Snickers. So my dad sent me some Snickers. So when you pop your Snickers, I'll have my Snickers. You see, a dad gonna always be a dad. The dad gonna always support their kids.
Okay,
And
good. Do you have barbecue Lay's potato chip?
no, I have Snickers
Well,
and I have M&Ms. And you see, it says share size. Yeah,
yeah.
look.
See,
Uh,
mine says minute Snickers. The Caucasian folks say minute. Okay, but this is the minute size. Hawaiians say no enough Snickers. But I figure I gotta cut back on the sugar, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try by taking just small bites of this. But if I eat a whole bag, it'll end up to one big bar like you have them now. If I have a whole bag of this. And what is
well,
that? That's Skittles? Oh,
M&Ms, man.
M&M's peanut.
Peanut. I told you. It's the share size.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
But I'm not sharing.
Huh?
I'm not sharing.
So what's new, Mel?
But I tell you what, it's been a long time since I had an M&M peanut.
You know what bugs the bejesus out of me? When you buy, because the shell is deceiving, right? The candy coating on the M&Ms, right? The peanuts.
Yeah.
And you buy one when the peanut is old. You bite into that bugger, and the bugger,
Oh,
not a crunch, the bugger bite like on jelly bean, real soft and squishy.
yeah, yeah.
And you can tell like that bugger bean that came out from the crypt someplace. Ugh, that's the kind I don't like.
It's like it's like the sunflower seed. You know when you eat the sunflower seed and you crack that rotten one,
Yeah,
and your body just shake.
yeah.
No, no, this is delicious, man. So, yeah, my dad is a sweet man, and he came to my rescue. So, thank you, Dad. Love you, man. Love you, man. They are bad. They got snow.
I saw. I
It's so
saw.
cute. He texted me this morning. He said, "I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna go outside to try to find the newspaper." Yeah. My daughter guys are locked in. Everything is closed because of the snow.
Yeah.
And they were trying to order food today, and all of the normal food delivery places that they use
Mhm.
weren't driving today because it was so bad. But they did find a pizza place that was able to deliver.
I saw a good friend of my wife who used to work for her at the Alana Waikiki, but then He did two things, and he worked for the um, Seattle Police Department, the records division, and now he's retired. But showed him today putting on chains on his tires. So that's a little serious when you got to put
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
yeah, it's not good up there right now.
I tell you, having been born and raised in the islands and never having to go through a heavy storm, I would be like a duck out of water, boy. If I went up there right now, I wouldn't know what the heck to do. I probably think that I'll be putting the chains on, I don't know, maybe my trunk or something like that. If you don't know what the hell to
And
do.
some states they ban the chains. You cannot even use chains. I had my first experience driving when I was in a basic training. Actually, that we had a 2 week break for winter, and you could go home for 2 weeks, but I couldn't afford to go home. So my friend from Indiana invited me to go stay at his house for 2 weeks. So I caught the bus from Texas to Indiana. But on the way back, he brought his car back, and we drove from Indiana all the way to Texas. And we took turns driving. That was the first time, bro. 17 or 18 years old, never left the state, driving on the interstate where cars going past you 100 miles an hour. Anyway, we went through a blizzard, a snowstorm. He had remember the old Datsun 280Z, the two-seater. That's what he had. And I was driving, and I hit the black ice,
Mm,
and the car had just spin, and I had panicked. But thank God the interstate was wide enough. We never crashed. But yeah, it's not safe. And if you don't know what you're doing, I just thank God we never have cars and never have guardrails or so we were able to stop spinning before we had banged something.
yeah,
So dangerous, so dangerous.
you have to be careful, my brother.
Yeah.
Have to be careful.
So anyway, got confirmation for a couple of things I really wanted to talk about tonight, and then Charlie, I know you got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but first thing on Tuesday, we have commitments from Tokioka, Nakamura, and Morikawa, so they will be on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock to discuss 1286. Um, it's going to be a very um, I think it's going to be a great discussion. I think it's going to be a good discussion. I wanna find out. I wanna understand why some of our representatives are supporting it and why some of our representatives are not. So make sure tell everybody. We'll put up the graphic. You guys share it. We want to get that out as much as possible. We know that 1286 will only impact one island, Hawaii. So and whether you agree or disagree, that's the debate, and that's what we'll have on Tuesday. Also, Senator Favela, I spoke to him today. He asked me if I could please ask you all if you guys oppose the casino, the gambling, please submit testimony. It's vital because it is getting some traction, and for some of you maybe support it, but either way, either way, please submit testimony. I don't have the bill number. I apologize, but just if you're interested, shoot me a private message.
Lottery or the casino bill that was in our
Casino
department.
the casino bill is stalled right now, but the Senate is still going to hear it. But there's a lottery, a bingo hall, a casino, all of these bills that are floating around for gambling. So
Mhm.
it is up to us. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you which way to go, but speak up so your voices are heard. Senator Favela is a very passionate individual, and he makes a lot of sense. He's afraid because it's his district, and he wants to make sure that his kids are safe. Unfortunately, that was the reason he called me because one of our young adults from Kauai who was on Oahu had passed away at a very young age, and he had called because he saw on Facebook that he was a friend of mine, on a Facebook friend, and he is, and and obviously I'm not going to mention any names, but he passed away, and sad, and and he's just very passionate about protecting our kids. And so, whatever side of the fence you're on any issue, you guys really should get engaged with the legislature or your county council and let them know how you feel. Please, please. And Senator Favela asked me to share that with you all. So
Mhm.
that's it for me for now.
Well,
Charles, I know you had some interesting information today.
well, today on NBC News, some of you may, I got a little word from it, so I printed it out, and I wanted to discuss. This goes in line uh, with House Bill 1286. This talks about 4 people in Oregon who received both doses of vaccine test positive for coronavirus. And so what they're doing now is they're going through that whole process of genome sequencing to, to try to find out where are these cases coming from. And this is even when these 4 individuals all have had 2 doses of the vaccines and went beyond the 2-week period. So remember the CDC said, if you are vaccinated with both dosages for more than 14 days, you don't have to quarantine. This report says that the people experience symptoms, okay, mild or asymptomatic. But nevertheless, that's how they came across it because they weren't feeling too good, okay? So one would assume, and I think, we need the experts to come on, they're doing this genome sequencing to find out, first of all, is it possible that either the UK or the South African variant was part of this? And if it was, and it had a breakthrough, then what the heck? I mean, that's kind of frightening, right? That means that what we expected. But again, this is probably a small number, but still yet it's noteworthy. 2, if the CDC, it says the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has said that quarantine is not necessary for fully vaccinated people within 3 months of having received their last doses, as long as they don't develop any symptoms. Guess what? They develop symptoms. Now they got to revert back and go through the quarantine. That's why I was always afraid when they released that statement, people would take it as, it's you know, their mind and the way they think would stop right at, we don't need quarantine. No, there's a caveat to this whole thing, and that is as long as they don't develop any symptoms. Okay. So what this is telling me that if we run the gamut of not having to quarantine and something like this come under the wire and we don't know nothing about it, it goes back to the original premise of whether or not you can pass the virus on. And based on what I read, and I'm just being a common layperson reading this, I'm figuring you can pass it on because you got the symptoms. It's saying you got symptoms. That's how these people got detected. They showed symptoms, they showed signs. And this is way after 2 weeks after getting their second dosage. That's what my concern is right now. But again, to be fair, to be honest, it could be such a small, minute portion of the population that's vaccinated. I don't know. But you know what? It would sure suck to be next to a person who's been vaccinated and starting to show signs, and he's right next to you, and you haven't been vaccinated. Tell me what you would think.
Well, remember South Korea patient, what was the number?
19, wait, I thought it was 13. Was it 13? The one
I forget, patient, whatever it was, that one person that after they did, of course they do, they do real contact tracing in South Korea,
yeah.
but by the time they were done and they finished over 1,000 infections. And that's why I think, Charlie, from early on, you and I have been very passionate about this because it only takes one. And I was like yourself when I saw that CDC recommend or notice or publication, whatever their press release, patient 17. Thanks, Anthony. when they
No,
came out and talked
31.
about that
31.
31, 31,
Yeah. Do I
31.
hear 32? Do I hear 32? Going once, going twice?
But when I read that, I thought, it kind of goes against what the CDC has been saying, and but it is what it is. That's what they're saying, and okay, so you take it for what it's worth. But we know for a fact that they have not concluded the studies to determine whether or not one the person that has had the vaccination, the two shots, can contract or spread the virus. We know that they don't know that yet. So I was shocked to see the CDC come out with that report that you didn't have to quarantine if you had your two shots and waited 2 weeks. But it's kind of weird the way they said, unless you are showing symptoms, which means they know that there are cases. They know that we know, we read the paper, we read, you see the news reports that of these people that are completed with the cycle of vaccines and have come down with COVID. So we know it's possible, whether it's a small percentage. The problem with this is because you will tend to be asymptomatic because of the vaccine. So you won't know. No one will know. And if you're walking around, going into public areas, vaccinated, properly vaccinated, the 2 week wait, and you have the virus, you don't know it because you're asymptomatic. How many people are you going to expose? And that's the scary part. That for me, that's the scary part, and that is why it is vital, whether you had the vaccine or not, that you wear your mask and you disinfect your hands and you do what you need to do, regardless if you're vaccinated or not, because we just don't know. We just don't know. So,
Well, you know what can be well, first of all, I just read the other day both Fauci and the new head of the CDC. You know that statement about they admit they didn't know about it. So one has to wonder if you have someone rogue inside the CDC releasing statements without it being properly vetted for public consumption and understanding, because that can be problematic, I think, down the road. But in any case, we always have to err on the side of caution. But if you psychologically brain, it's like like when you tease in a person here, you can have this, you take it back, you go, yeah, you keep on doing that. After a while, either the person builds a resistance to, I don't like play the game anymore, or they're going to smoke you, knock you out just to take them away from you, right? That's the only two options you have. And if you keep on playing that, if we go through this psychological process over and over again, we start getting trained to be either very, very anti because we don't want to play the game anymore, or we get highly aggressive to push the issue to see if the authoritative bodies know what they're talking about. But by then, somebody will get sick, right? If they should get sick. And you don't want anybody to get sick beyond the point of recovery. I don't want anybody getting sick to the point that we cannot help you to outrun this thing, survive this thing. Now, someone did said, well, it's like the flu, you take the flu shots every year. True, the vaccine shots, right? But then you have vaccine shots like pneumonia shots. You don't take it every year. You can only take it so many times. I think 2 times. The third time, it's done. You're done. You should have the antibodies. That's why I couldn't take any more pneumonia shots. So it's all in the cards on how this thing is dealt out, and we just gotta. I don't want to say we gotta go with the flow because it's dangerous to say that, but I think we gotta be precautionary. Is that the right word? Be cautious, whatever we do.
well, people got to understand that everyone that has taken that vaccine is part of the trial process now, right? That's the trials. That's how they're figuring out the capabilities of this vaccine. I mean, obviously, they did the trials before they got the emergency use of permission or the authority. They
Mm-hmm.
did their trials, but the trials
Mm-hmm.
were very targeted. It was very targeted at
Right.
limiting the sickness that you get once you get exposed. So that was what they know based on the trials, but they didn't have any trials on anything else on the effectiveness of the vaccine as it relates to getting the virus or passing the virus. That was never done. So I don't know when doctors come out and say, I think. No, you don't think, and you shouldn't think because there is no study. And when you're dealing with something like this, a pandemic, you gotta rely on science. I mean, and you gotta wait until the science is done. You gotta wait until the trials are done. You need to wait until enough people get vaccinated. And unfortunately, some people will get sick, some people will get COVID, but those are the cases that they will be able to analyze to do a complete and thorough uh, analysis of this vaccine. And that's what some people are impatient and they don't want to wait. They're going based on what they feel, what they think. That no, this is a pandemic because especially now with the variants, the contagiousness of this is so bad that you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to infect a community of 100 or 200 or 300 people. You don't. But if you take chances, that's what's going to happen. And that's why I really respect the doctors, and again, even the governor for saying that he's going to wait for science because that's all we got.
Yep.
Really, that's all we got. And if it takes 6 more months, it takes 6 more months. Because if you shortchange that, if you take a shortcut, um, not good.
This is what I think is going to happen. And this is just a assumption on my part, ladies and gentlemen. So this is Uncle Charlie's way of saying, I have a sneaky suspicion, but it's only a suspicion. And like all good investigators, we get something that will tickle our brain and we kind of move on it and we'll try to do everything possible to disprove it so we can move on to the next step of the investigation. But if we're on the trail of something, we're going to stick to it. And this is my thing. The little card that you received when you took your shot, okay? It gave you the lot number of the shot and the dates of when you took the shot. I firmly believe, and everyone who took their 2 shots, please, you're probably going to be called because you're in a data system, right? The VAMs. They input your information, your contact number, your email address. They're going to send you something in about 6 months, I firmly believe, to update them as, have you experienced anything since you've taken the shot? That's what they want to know. Have you come in contact with anybody, known COVID individuals? They're going to want to know that because these vaccines are only EUA, emergency use authorization. We're all test subjects ourselves right now. But I think to make this program successful, when they call you, please answer them or answer the survey that might be sent to you because you're one of those special individuals, and everyone is special once they get their second vaccination. And even if they didn't get it, you're special, but you just won't be participating. So what I'm saying is you got that little card. I I have a sneaky suspicion they're going to be asking questions of you, all of us. How did we do? Did we experience any body aches? Did we have any heart palpitations? Did we do this? Did we do that? Did you come in contact with anybody with COVID? If you did, how was your reaction to it? Did you feel blah blah blah? What measures were taken? And they're going to go through the whole list. And I think from there they're going to put the data together, and then we'll get a really good cross section because when the vaccines first came out, there were only so many thousands of participants. Now, when this vaccination rollout is complete, we're going to have millions of participants. So just imagine we're going to have a bigger number to deal with, and probably we're going to have better data. What do you think, Mel? Am I on
I
the right?
agree. I agree. And everyone's going to have to participate. And the more people participate, obviously, the better the study will be. Real quick. Millie asking, I wonder why people that took the Moderna got flu-like symptoms more than those that took Pfizer. I'm
Mhm.
seeing a mix. Patsy got the Pfizer. She got a little bit of uh, symptoms. My mother-in-law, who's 80 plus years old, didn't get any. They took the same Pfizer. The two guys I work with took Moderna, and they both got through it without anything. So it's just I think depending on the person and but
You
yeah,
may want to look for there was you can pull it up on the net because they ask about the dosage, right? The first dosage is much lesser than the second, the booster. So they always said that the second dose, I was expecting 50% on the first crack, 50% on the back end. And I heard it was like 30, 30, 70 or something like that. So if it's that way, maybe it seems very, very odd that the people who are feeling it the most, they're all feeling it on the second dosage of both Moderna and Pfizer. So it could be the tolerance. I can say one thing from everything that I've read is that the worse you felt with this dosages that's been given to you, that's about the peak that it'll ever get. And what it's saying is that it's building up your immune system. So if you should ever come across this bad boy, you probably won't even feel as bad. That's my understanding of it.
yeah. Sue Canojo says she heard the elderly are not having the same symptoms. Well, we saw that right right in our household. So again, you never know. I know guys take the flu shot, they don't get sick. I mean, when I took the flu shot, I get flu-like symptoms. So anyway, the other thing that just
But
came
it's
out, I
almost
don't
like,
know if you, huh?
it's like when you take your first beer, you won't feel the symptoms until you get your second or third beer. That's when the thing will start acting out.
Yeah. I don't know if all of you guys phones got activated with that Aloha Safe app. I know mine did. It popped up and it asked me if I wanted to be a participant. I did become a participant because everyone that registers will put in for a drawing for free pizza from Domino's for a year. So I went ahead and signed up. So and seriously, Charlie, that was the hook. I would have done it anyway. I would have done it anyway because I think it's an awesome thing. So basically, what it is you enter the system, this Aloha Safe app, and again, if your phone didn't, mine did it on its own. I guess when they flipped the switch for Kauai, it popped
Someone,
up. It's no,
no,
huh? Is that Charlie?
somebody contacted me today. Somebody contacted me today and said that they had this notification come up.
Yeah,
And yet I said, wait a minute now, because I didn't get it. And I got an iPhone 11. So I said, if anything, I should have got one. But I said, do yourself a favor. Go into your notification setting. See if you find it in there. And the person told me, Uncle Charlie, it completely disappeared off my phone. I can't find it. The only reason why I say err on the side of caution, sometimes when you have these kind of notification pop up, you don't know if somebody get malware they're going to try to download on your phone. That's the only thing. So I don't know
yeah,
what happened. They couldn't find it.
yeah. This notification basically told you to go to the App Store and download the app. When you
Mhm.
download the app, then it asks you if you want to register, and then at that point, you must agree if you want. Now you don't give them any information except your name and your email. What
Mhm.
happens is if you register and you agree to share your info, if you get if you get diagnosed with COVID, then you go in and you put it in the app. Everyone that has that app and has registered and activated the app will be notified if you at some point came in vicinity in the near vicinity of the person that shared their exposure or their confirmation. That is awesome. If because Charlie, like if I mean, I hardly see Charlie, but if I ran into Charlie last week and God forbid he tested positive and he decides that he wants to put it in his, and he's the only one can put it in. No one else can put it in. But the moment he hits that button, I'll get a notification that's saying, last week, Tuesday, at this location, you were possibly exposed to a positive person. Doesn't give any names, doesn't give any phone numbers. None of that stuff is even in the app. That is the ticket, guys. We had talked about this how long ago, Charlie? A year ago, close to a year ago. We had vendors coming to our state government offering to deliver that app for free. Rejected. Now it's happening. I'm sure the state paid a lot of money for it, but he could have had it for free. But this is one way that you don't have to rely on the state's ineffective contact tracing. If everybody gets on that system, the moment you get positive, you confirmed you're positive, then you put it in your app, everyone that was near you will be notified to go get a test. So that is the key. That's the ticket. Part of the solution to keeping everybody safe. But you got to get in. You cannot, if you're not in it, you're not going to be notified. And don't worry, they're not tracking your whereabouts. They're not tracking none of that stuff. It's you are telling them what you that you want to participate. They don't even have
You
your
know
number.
what would be really, really good is someone like, say, the developer of this app. I would love to bring them on so we can hear it directly from the horse's mouth. That if it truly was an app that was developed and put out by these individuals, that this is the sequence of events that would occur. Then that way you can tell if there's something bogus on your phone. Because you know how many times people phones get hacked and all of this mumbo jumbo, then it puts you on a defense of what is real and what is not real. Now, granted, I believe this thing is real. I believe it's real. But the thing is, what do I have to authenticate that it's real? That's all. I'm just taking it that, okay, they talk about this app, bingo.
Yeah. No, you definitely.
I
So
would love to, I would love to have somebody come on and just say, we are the developers of this app. This is what, and even talk about, I'm pretty sure we've heard of this term used so many times over and over again, algorithms. Tell us, how this thing works. I would like to know. It's not gonna dissuade me from not downloading it. But I think today's notification from the person who notified me about this, it didn't say anything like Aloha Safe. It was a notification. You remember that system that we had downloaded on our phones, but the state just didn't want to buy into it? That COVID-19.
oh yeah.
It was almost like that one because
Yeah,
the
be
person.
careful. I mean, Aloha Safe Alert is the only legitimate one in Hawaii, and I mean, obviously, that's the one that if you're getting something from anywhere else but Aloha Safe, yeah, ignore it, delete it. Don't click any link. Do not click any link. That's not good. But this is it. So and this is where it takes you, and you can download the app. You got to download the app from the App Store. So not from anywhere else. You got to go to the actual app store and download the app, and then there's an authentication process there. But this is what we've been. Oh, look at that! You guys got my Facebook page. See Kurt Favela's message. He just sent that SB 1381. That's the one. That's the bill. I forgot to stop sharing. Sorry about that.
Well, another thing too, just as a precautionary measure, if you're gonna download this app and another person download the app that you're not supposed to know the person download the app, just don't be too close to each other when you're not supposed to. That's all I say, okay?
Yeah.
Just stay far, far away.
It's pretty interesting though. I mean, it remembers the devices that you were near for the last 14 days. So that's it. So that device that you were near will be notified that they were in contact with you. But if you're not inputting the information, if you're not letting the app know that you tested positive, then it doesn't work. So yeah, that's just one more tool that we can use in addition to, of course, being vigilant with the normal wearing your mask and stuff. I know I get tired of hearing people tell me to wear a mask, but there's so many people that are not wearing masks. There's so many people that are still congregating. You saw I posted about the Vegas thing. They're having major problems in Vegas right now with COVID. They're breaking their records of deaths every day. They're half of their hospitals are full in Vegas. Half of are in Nevada. Half of all of their hospitals in Nevada are at capacity. They have refrigerated trucks to hold bodies. I mean, it's the same thing we heard about New York months ago. So that is, yes, Aloha Safe is a Hawaii basis. It comes out of, actually comes out of Maui.
Brother,
So, you
I
know,
just,
and many of our Hawaii people go to Vegas. Many of our Hawaii people go to Vegas and they're going there now because it's slow and the prices are cheap. But you know, like I think Charlie, you said today in your post, I thought was a very good post. You're not against travel. You're not against people traveling, but they gotta be safe and they gotta think about it. You know, I just think that right now, unless you absolutely have to travel, you shouldn't travel. But
I just sent you a messenger of the person who sent me that notification. Try check your messenger, and you'll see there's a stark difference. But for those of you that's wondering what post Mel is talking about today, I put out a post and I emphatically stated I'm not. I understand everybody has felt cooped up. Okay, I understand that, and you want to travel. I'm not against traveling, even though right now it's not the best time. But hey, if you gotta travel, all I'm saying is be akamai, use your head, know right from wrong, and don't push the envelope. Because once you get sick, it's very hard to pull it back, to pull the reins back. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Whatever you do in life, be safe about it. You got a lot of people that are thrill seekers, and guess what? They lost their lives over it. These are one of those times that you don't have to do that. You can be safe about it. And that's all I said. Yep.
yeah, so that notification when you click the learn more, it takes you to the Aloha Safe app. But you know, if you go to your cell phone, your iPhone now, remember before when you click that exposure notifications, it told you that your state isn't participating. If you click on it now, it tells you
Yeah.
that you're active. Hawaii State Department of Health. And then this is where if you had a diagnosis, you would click this and then it goes right to the Aloha Safe. And this is where you would put in your confirmation and then everyone within your area or
So
that you had come in contact with in the last 14 days.
so that notification I just sent you, does it look legit?
That's the one. That's the one that I got. When you click
Okay.
the learn more, when you click the learn more, it takes you to the Aloha Safe website or
Mm.
yeah, the Aloha Safe site.
So to the person who just sent me that, you heard Mel. He said it's legit. So,
But you didn't get yours, Charlie?
huh?
You didn't get yours.
No. All I
Check,
got
check.
was I got a I don't know. Mine makes that notification sound when you get notified,
Yeah.
and all mine's went was like this. Hmm. That's all I got. Hmm.
Check. You get your phone available.
Yes, sir.
Check go to settings
Yes, sir.
and then scroll down right under emergency SOS. You see your emergency exposure notifications.
Yes, sir.
Click that and see if it's active.
It says turn on exposure alerts.
Okay, so you didn't do yours yet. So that's the one. So if all of you
Okay,
guys
okay.
if all of you guys do that, if you have an iPhone, if you get on Android, I don't know, just hit your settings. Hit your settings, scroll right down to right here. It says exposure. Sorry, that light. Exposure notifications. You click that, and then it takes you to the Department of Health. And then again, if you want to report your diagnosis, this is where you would do it. That's how it works. Whether or not people will do it, because I think there's still like a lot of people, the internet, the phones, there's so much scams and fraud going on. I honestly believe that there's going to be a lot of people that will not want to do it. They will not, they don't trust it. And I don't blame people. Sorry, Charlie, I gotta eat my dad's M&Ms.
No, no, no. You go right ahead. You go right ahead, brother. Your dad sent that to you. Go right ahead. I hope you don't stomach ache when you fall. No, it's good. You go for it. But
Yeah, you should have the green check mark next to your exposure.
person said, Mel, if I get a virus, I'm coming after you.
You know what?
Folks, I tell you, it's because we've been hammered left and right over the years. All it takes is a bunch of knuckle brains to play around with something that's, a lot of us paid a lot of money for our phones, right? Or our computers. And you always have a knuckle brain from wherever, you know, Timbuktu or wherever. And they just pose as somebody else and they try to get your information, so forth and so forth. And, sometimes you get so angry. And, I told myself several times, what would I do if I had an opportunity to speak to one of those who did wrong against a friend? And, honestly, I would pray for them to get ready. That's what I'll do. I'd pray to them because I'll beat the shellacking out of them because I don't think it's right what they do to others to hurt others. I'll
Yeah.
be kind. I'll say it very nicely, and that's it.
I don't know. Like I talked about after the hurricane, yeah. Any theft, whether
Yep.
it was a stick of gum or a car, it didn't matter. The bill was 10 grand cash. That was it. On Kauai. And that's what I don't understand. You get these guys that have taken advantage of someone during a pandemic.
Mhm.
Um, they it's a different type of criminal when they take advantage of people during a crisis, an emergency, like a pandemic or hurricane. When they go after people and take advantage of people, that's a different type of criminal. That's a heartless soul, and they need to be put away. And you
Yes.
gotta you gotta confine them, and you gotta have the deterrent. And the deterrent is the cash bail. That's the thing. The deterrent is having a bail high enough that they cannot pose.
Mhm.
So you know, you
You,
really gotta.
I want to ask you something, Mel, if I can. And this is for our kupunas. At one time when I first moved to Kauai, our good friend Russell Wellington, he was head of he was in charge of the Waimea Neighborhood Center. And they brought in all kind of instructors for our kupunas. And one of it was to bring in an instructor about IT, computers, to help our kupunas because it was a little advanced, but to teach them how to use the computers, how to get the internet, how to go online. What I would like to see for the people who are watching, contact wherever island you're on, contact your neighborhood center if they have an elderly program and ask them if in the daytime they have a program that helps kupunas understand the smartphone or understand the iPad or understand the computer, understand Facebook, understand these downloads of notification. We got to help them because, see, it's a good thing you told me about it, right? And the thing is this, just imagine these kupunas in their 70s and 80s, unless they grew up in the IT field, it's foreign to them. And I really think we got to help them because it's very easy to just start plunking away, clicking yes, 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 and don't know what you're clicking to. And next thing you know, you go so far into that black hole, you can never get out, and all your information gets stolen. I don't want to see that happen. So maybe we can put a word out there, Mel, to all of our viewers out there. If you have kupunas, help them. Go try check if there's a daytime program that they can get involved with that teaches them how to use the smartphone. Because if not, then what I would say is get your kapuna, your loved one, a smartphone that can just call and receive. Don't play with anything else because it can be very dangerous.
Yeah, that is very good advice. um, the kupuna are the targets of our scam artists, and
Yep,
there's a lot of victims here on Kauai that they don't say anything because they're ashamed. They realize they
exactly.
got scammed, but they're too embarrassed to tell anybody. And I know this from personal experience. I know this. That's what I did when I was in the department, and I used to do identity theft workshops for all the senior centers, and we identified a couple of them. I'm talking about six-figure losses that they are embarrassed to report or afraid to report.
Hmm.
But they got taken, and they got taken by exactly what Charlie said was something on the phone, that a link that they pressed or a phone call that they answered, and the person on the other side was so convincing and so caring, and they convince them that the money is coming. All they got to do is give them their information or give them a credit card to pay for the processing or whatever. There's thousands of scams, and my only advice to those kupuna was just do not. If you see a phone number you don't recognize, you don't answer it. Just don't answer it because these guys are that good. They're that good. They'll gain your trust immediately, and don't answer the phone calls. Definitely don't click a link. I'm surprised, Charlie, that that notification that you just shared was done the way it was done because it doesn't look professional at all. It doesn't. I mean, it is. It doesn't. But that kupuna is one of the biggest targets of our scam clowns, and it's sad, 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 sad. And, and it really
Yeah,
is about education. It really is about education.
we got a comment from SC White. Is that app just for Hawaii? Does Florida have something like that? You would have to check your Department of Health in Florida, SC. Maybe they can let you know. But right now, that Aloha Safe app is only for the state of Hawaii. Right now, it's
Yes,
here. It doesn't work anywhere else.
but as I'm just checking this right here, you guys do have one. It is called Stronger Than C. Same thing. It's available on the web. I mean, on your app, in your app store. Stronger Than C19. And you can find it at the floridahealth.gov website. Stronger Than C19. One word, no hyphens. That's the app. That's the name of the app, and you can download that on from your app store. So they do. They had theirs. They launched it in May.
Wow. I'm so happy that we're able to assist others in finding these things out. I really want to propose to a lot of our viewers there, if we can find someone like from an IT service, we're gonna try to bring them on, and we're gonna do a one whole hour dedicated to our smartphones, and we'll do both Android as well as the iPhones. What's that? iOS,
Yep.
both Androids and iOS system, and we'll go through the basics so everyone can understand. So it's confusing because right now there's this brilliant kid on YouTube. He has found over 47 tricks with your iPhone that will activate certain things on an iPhone. And he counts them down, but it's just so much to remember. But we'll try to bring somebody on that can really walk us through. Yeah.
There you go, Essie. So go to your app store from your phone. Stronger Than C19 is the name of the app. Stronger Than C19. This is for Florida, not everybody else.
Yep.
And go ahead and download the app and
Hmm.
get on board. I'm surprised you haven't heard about that. Again, Charlie talks about the messaging. It's bizarre how we with the technology that we have today that we cannot inform everybody of what's going on and what's important.
Mhm.
It just baffles me, Charlie. It baffles me, man. It does. Like the resources got to be placed in. Everyone should know what's going on during a pandemic. Everyone should, whether it's even a weekly newsletter.
Yep.
If everyone got a weekly newsletter in their home, wouldn't that make sense? I mean, it's only once a week, but at least it's once a week. You know, at least it's once a week. We get the politicians' newsletters come in. Why not the state put out those little newsletters once a week to tell us what's going on? You can't get it from the news. You can't get it from your TV news. The Garden Island, by the time you read them, it's old, it's POW, if it's even there. So I think a weekly newsletter would be perfect. About testing sites and testing dates and times, and I don't know. Maybe it's too simple. Maybe too simple. I don't know.
I think, because we have been in society, criminals have said, holding up banks or trying to do other things is too obvious. They get caught easily, right? They try to hold up a bank. So what they do it now is they do it under a phase of anonymity, which is via the computer, right? Posing as someone else. They can basically make themselves up without really making themselves up because you can only see as much as what the screen will show you. And they come in and they do whatever they can. And sometimes you're right, seniors, they're vulnerable. Some are lonely and they think that they're talking to someone who really cares. But no, the person is just the end result. I want to take your money. And then sometimes you feel you ask them. I remember doing one investigation, but this is a long time ago, and it was just when the computer was just coming out, and you ask them simple things. It says, "Oh, I just gave out my name and this." Well, if you give them your name and date of birth,
Oh,
a lot of things can be done. A lot of things. What happened, brother?
I don't know. It's telling me my internet is unstable.
Yeah, not in and out, but you kind of. But anyway,
Yeah, you
we
was you was freezing up, but I don't know what the heck.
we want to make sure. Yeah,
I'm so irritated with.
so I just want to make sure that our seniors there can you know be safe again. I don't want nothing happening to them. Well, Mel, you're definitely frozen, Mel. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome frozen Mel. Mel, you're frozen, Mel. Uh-oh. Mel, there you are, brother.
Can I say that I hate my internet?
Well, you put it this way. You already said it.
I am hardwired in. I mean, how can you it's just anyway,
No,
whatever.
sometimes they'll do that. Anyway, gang, you know, we got about 15 more minutes left. I just wanted to say that, again, next week's going to be a very interesting week. We got so many subjects um, to talk about. And Mel is right when he said that this whole new Bill 1286. Guess what, gang? It only affects one island. It affects Kauai because of the way our mayor went about keeping us safe. If you look at Maui especially. At one time, their numbers were small, and now I don't know what's happening. But we can only hope and pray for the best. Hope to get it under control. Now, I don't know if those numbers include the breakout at the prisons or not. I think they're using the prison numbers as well for their number count. Okay.
I'm not sure. You started to freeze up again. I think it's my connection, but yeah, next week, people, Tuesday. Don't forget Tuesday. I'm not sure we're gonna do on Monday. Charlie, it's your birthday. I don't know if you want to take off Monday night, relax with the wife, go have a nice dinner.
Well, I think I'm going to ask everybody. Yeah, please. That's because Monday's President's Day.
Yeah.
I want you to celebrate with me on my birthday by all you gentlemen out there. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, but I want you to take your wives out on a Monday, or vice versa. You wives take your significant other, your husbands out, and have something nice on President's Day. And so yeah, we won't be on here on Monday. I know Mrs. Fiona wants to take me to parts unknown. It's not often I get to eat down in Kalalau Valley after 11-mile hike, but we'll try it. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm kidding so much that Mel froze up again. Anyway, folks, it's one of those trying times, Mel, and it's always good to be talking by myself. But I'm reading the comments, and oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, I thought it sounded funny too when you end up talking to yourself. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. And yes, Susan, you're right now. There are no kupunas gathering, but we definitely want to put something. We definitely want to put something out. Oh, I'm the host right now, so okay. And there comes Mel. Yeah, he's back on.
Okay. Something's wrong with my internet.
Yeah.
So
We definitely want to put. We want to do something on a safety safety matter on the show one night, so we can talk about safety protocols. Maybe that's what we'll call it.
yeah.
And let us go try find somebody who has expertise. Usually the best experts you'll find, they're already incarcerated. So I might call up Halava or OCCC, see if anybody is in there, because they're the best ones.
Absolutely.
They're the best ones. Just unfortunately, they got caught.
And they get better when they're in prison.
Yep. And they get better when they're in prison, let me tell you.
Yep. All right. Well, you know what? Because I'm afraid my internet is not stable. Well, it's telling me it's not stable.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Make sure it's a special one, guys. I'm hoping Patsy will feel better tomorrow. If she's feeling better, Charlie, we'll meet you guys down there at 10 o'clock at Taco Libre. Have
So
my Rey Mysterio mask, my championship belt, and we're going to grind some tacos, man.
Yep.
With
So
the hot sauce.
Until Tuesday, we'll see you folks on Tuesday, okay? Tomorrow night, we're regularly off, and Monday, because of President's Day, we're going to take off, and I'm just going to celebrate my birthday. My lovely wife, just she and I, because the kids have moved back to Oahu. And so to all of you out there, thank you for the many birthday well wishes. I appreciate it very, very much. Made me feel so special. And like I told Mel, I'm 1 year older and 1 hair less each year. So thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. Love you all. Okay, Brother Mel.
Hey, sorry about the internet connection. I get Spectrum. There's no other option. I'm stuck with it. I don't know what's going on. But I didn't want to get cut off before we could tell you guys, thank you for joining us tonight. You guys stay safe. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. We love you guys. We'll be back on Tuesday. Don't forget Tuesday now, our delegation, 1286. We're going to discuss that. And we want to see your comments so we can relay the comments over to them while they're on live. Okay? All right, you guys take care. God bless. We're going to take off before the internet kicks us out. Love you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Aloha.